Chapter 2 talks about the U.S. Constitution, which is really a remarkable document. It is quite short, but its principles have stood the test of time. It has remained largely intact since it was passed more than 200 years ago. It has been amended only 27 times, the last in 1992. By frame of reference, California's Constitution, which was originally passed in 1849, has been amended more than 500 times. This video will give you a broad overview of the Constitution and will highlight specific areas that are likely contained in the study guide. Please make sure you read the text for a more detailed understanding of this chapter. On July 4, 1776, the Second Continental Congress approved the Declaration of Independence. Perhaps the most revolutionary aspects of the Declaration were its statements that people have natural rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that governments derive their power from the consent of the governed, and that people have a right to overthrow oppressive governments. During the Revolutionary War, the states signed the Articles of Confederation, creating a weak central government with few powers. The Articles proved to be unworkable because the national government had no way to ensure compliance by the states with such measures as securing tax revenue. Dissatisfaction with the Articles of Confederation prompted the call for a convention in Philadelphia in 1787. Delegates focused on creating a constitution for a new form of government. The Virginia Plan, which favored the large states, and the New Jersey Plan, which favored smaller ones, did not garner sufficient support. A compromise offered by Connecticut provided for a bicameral legislature and thus resolved the large state-small state controversy. Other controversies, such as whether the President or the Senate would choose the Supreme Court justices and how to count slaves in the census, resulted in additional compromises in order to reach agreement. Another important area in the Constitution is known as the supremacy doctrine, which asserts the priority of national laws over state laws. The final version of the Constitution provided for the separation of powers among the different branches of government, executive, legislative, and judicial, provided for checks and balances, a system in which each branch of government can check the actions of others, and the federal form of government. Another important component was the electoral college. That's the college that officially elects the president and vice president. As you see, presidential candidates can be elected without receiving a majority of the popular vote. You will likely see that on your quiz this week. Here's a look at our system of checks and balances. You can see that each branch can check the other in some way. For instance, as you see with the arrow, the president can veto legislation that he or she does not support. The final document included our federal system of government. In that federal system, power is divided between a central government and regional or subdivisional governments. Each level must have some domain in which its policies are dominant. We will talk more about this in Chapter 3. Fears of a strong central government prompted the addition of the Bill of Rights to the Constitution. The Bill of Rights, which includes the freedoms of religion, speech, and assembly, among others, was initially applied only to the federal government, and for your quiz purposes, you should know that the Bill of Rights provided for the protection of individual liberties from the national government. Amendments to the Constitution following the Civil War were interpreted to ensure that the Bill of Rights would apply to states as well. The delegates also provided a mechanism to make changes to the new Constitution. As we mentioned, many amendments have been proposed, few accepted. 27 amendments have been approved. First 10 are the Bill of Rights. Some others you may know. The 19th Amendment in 1920 gave women the right to vote. And for your quiz purposes, the 26th Amendment set the voting age at 18. Here's how you can amend or propose amendments and ratify amendments. That the amendment may be proposed either by a 2/3 vote in each chamber of Congress or by a national convention called by Congress at the request of 2/3 of the legislature, state legislatures. Ratification can occur either by the approval of 3/4 of the legislatures of the states or by special conventions called in the states for the purpose of ratifying the amendment and approval by 3/4 of these conventions. Informal methods of constitutional change include reinterpretation through congressional legislation, presidential actions, and judicial review. Please make sure you read the chapter and review your study guide for the weekly quiz. Good luck.